to the drive-thru. I'm your host, Tony T, as we broadcast live here on Pick Dawgz and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel throughout social media. We're going to get you out here before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Deliver these live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And deliver these winners as well. Professional handicapper you see right here on screen. So let's say hello to them today. Wayne, how's it going? Oh, looks like Wayne is in frozen state. Alex, what's happening?
Everything's good, not frozen. Nice warm day.
Thawing out. That's good. Thawing out.
Let's not make some money. Yeah.
All right. You know who's playing today. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening, baby? We back.
We back.
College football season is here. Hashtag we coming. I'm just playing. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but I'm excited. I haven't been on the drive-thru in a minute, so I said, let me pop in, talk some football, talk some baseball with the guys. So glad to be here.
Excellent. Happy to have you here. Hello to Shane.
How's it going? My two favorite teams play at night, so excited college football's back.
Yes. Is there hope for Minnesota now? Looks like you have we've been talking about this for years on the show about the quarterback situation. Is this an answer here for them? An improvement?
I mean, I hope so. I mean, I really wish we'd had them last year when we were still in the Big Ten West. There might have been hope, but without the divisions, I'm not so sure.
That's going to be tough now. Exactly, those 4 teams coming in. Big Al, what's happening?
Not much. Jay Briggs is doing his best Jerry Glanville impersonation right now, so looking pretty sharp, Jay.
Jay's hitting the Google right now as you say Jerry Glanville. So we
yeah, I think Jay got his sunglasses and his hat off eBay or something.
That's must have. Mills, you get no UFC this week, but you're going to hang out with us doing baseball and football because that's what you do.
I mean, how can't you, man? When you got players and playing in these games with great player props, I mean, it's only one way to go.
Absolutely, one way to roll. All right, guys, we've got a big line today. So let's get on with it here on the drive-thru as we're getting ready here to cover the games for you. So we're going to start with college football. A lot of FCS versus FBS as you would expect here in week 1, but I think too many for my liking. It's just a little too much. But anyway, let's get on with it here. We will take a look here at the following games here as we know the Rutgers games just kicked off. So let's take a look at it here on this set of games as we break it down. I don't think we're going to have any FBS matchup here at 7 Eastern. Here we go. Buffalo will be in action. I'm just going to go through the games. Central Michigan, and of course more FCS as you can tell here. Oh, hang on one second. NC State in action. Bowling Green in action. We're going to take it over to the 8 p.m. Eastern time slot. You can see Arkansas on the bluff there. Toledo in action today, and of course the game will hit the top of the hour here with North Dakota State and Colorado. So we'll stop at that 8 Eastern game. So I'm going to start here with Wayne.
I hope you guys can hear me clear. Not really sure what's going on with my internet right now, but we're gonna go to this UCF game. UCF has been a solid team at home. They're probably one of the most underrated home field advantages, and they're going against a New Hampshire team that will have to come down here, face them in like I said, a rugged environment. I think this humidity is going to get to them. Gus Malzahn is starting to bring in the players that he wants in this system. I just think the defense and the speed of UCF is going to be too much for New Hampshire.
I have some internet issues there with Wayne. I think we got his pick from him. So let's move on. Oh, there you go. You back there, Wayne? Still some internet connection there with Wayne. So let's continue here, and we'll go over to Alex.
Yeah, I was looking at that. The one game that I because this time of year is one of those things you have to have focus, and there's just so much stuff going on out there. You have to really focus on just a couple of games, in my opinion. Doing my homework over the summer, I looked at certain teams, and then you look at the injuries for a lot of these teams. I mean, even lower tier teams like Charlotte. I mean, half their lineup is going to be out of the lineup to this weekend on Saturday. So that's something to look at there. I know we're going ahead, and I'm sort of like jumping ahead to where I should be. But there's one game here that I've looked at, and I sort of did some homework on it this summer, and I believe Minnesota actually could upset North Carolina tonight. Now, I know the way the line steamed, it's moved the other way, and now we're with North Carolina. And, whether there's smart money there or just a combination of smart money and, I'm not going to call it stupid money, but at the same time, it's just, brand name money, because North Carolina obviously has the bigger brand name. But, I was looking at this and, I was handicapping it from a lot of different angles. And what I saw here was the line was correct right off the bat. Why it's changed around, I have no idea. But I will tell you one thing. I think we have some value tonight with Minnesota. And I think they're a lot better team than people think. I think their quarterback situation should be more stable this year than it was last year. And, of course, you're going to get a top-tier defense with Minnesota. And they're just tough to play against. And they won't make life easy for North Carolina tonight. I say let's take the points with North Carolina.
There we go. No points there. The points with North Carolina. Okay, there we go with Alex. We jumped ahead a little bit, though. But, all right, let's go on over to Jay Briggs. You're on mute, Jay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's a lot of meat on this bone early in the day. I'll start with Wake Forest against NCAAF at 6:00. NCAAF was terrible a season ago. They were terrible. They couldn't throw the football to save their lives. Now, they were one of the best running teams in the FCS, but that was mainly because they couldn't throw the football. So they had to run the football. I actually could make the argument that the best collective group on Wake Forest is their defensive line. So I think that there's a legitimate chance that Wake Forest shuts out NCAAF tonight, like completely doesn't let them score anything. And with that being said, I know it's a lot of lumber to lay with Wake Forest. I get it. But if there was one spot when you look at their entire schedule, this is probably the game they take somebody absolutely behind the woodshed. So I would look at laying the points with Wake Forest, and total in that game, I would lean under. Again, I'm not sure NCAAF scores at all. So does Wake Forest go and score 50 tonight? I don't know. I'd rather be on that under in that football game. So that's the first game I would attack. And then I'll talk about that Colorado game quickly. Look, I understand how good North Dakota State is. And in all honesty, with where this line has moved, I feel like you missed the number. I ain't going to lie to you. I'm just going to be real with y'all. I wouldn't lay 10.5. I wouldn't. If you couldn't get the 9.5, if you can't get 9.5, you should probably leave the game alone or probably take Colorado State. I think you missed the number. I still think they can come out here and win this game by 2 touchdowns. The key thing for me is when I look back at Colorado's season last year, I feel like one of their best games of last season was their very first game against TCU. They were very healthy coming into that game. They were hype as hell, but they were as healthy as can be, and we didn't necessarily know what to expect from them. They kind of have that element up their sleeve today. So I think they have the star power over there. They have 2 of the best players in the country, and I think they do enough to win this game fairly comfortably. So, again, 10.5 makes me nervous. I wouldn't be surprised if they won by 14, 2 touchdowns. But if you can, do your line shop and try to get the 9.5, but do not buy the point either. If you don't have reason to buy points in college football, do not buy points. I'm just trying to help y'all become better bettors as well as as college football season is now upon us.
Big Al agrees. Never buy points. We've had that discussion before. Let's go over to Shane.
I like two games in this time slot. North Carolina State's gonna have one of the best defenses again in the conference. Even though this Western Carolina team can score, I just don't see them scoring much here. I'll lay the points with North Carolina State. But the one game I really like is this Buffalo game against Lafayette. Lafayette is is a solid FCS team, and this Buffalo team could not slow down anyone last year. Their defense is god awful. It happens again here. I think Lafayette goes into Buffalo Stadium and wins this game outright.
From Shane, we move over to Big Al McMorty.
Now, Alex talked about the North Carolina-Minnesota game, even though it wasn't in the time slot. Should I just wait for the next time slot?
Let's wait for the next. Yeah, we'll get to that in the next time slot.
Oh, and the other thing, I may have misheard, but I thought at the end of it, Alex may have misspoke also. Alex has taken Minnesota, the home dog, right?
I thought he said the home dog. Let's bring him back in here. See what was the play there? What you said on that Minnesota game? Because
No, I want to take the points now. I want to take the points
With the points with Minnesota, right?
with Minnesota. Yeah,
there we go.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Points
okay.
with
Just
Minnesota.
making sure. Yeah.
Making
Yeah.
sure that.
Minnesota.
All right.
Okay, I'll pass on this time slot. I don't really get involved with FCS games.
All right. We'll move over to Mills.
Yeah, man. So out of these games so far today, it's about two that's sticking out to me. One's going to be that Coastal Carolina game against Jacksonville State. I think Jacksonville State's going to be able to cover that -2.5. I think they're 4-1 in the last 6 covering the ATS spread on that. On top of it, they got a top-tier defense. Usually hold teams to about 360 yards, 20 points per game. Coastal Carolina, they're going to have a lot of new wide receivers trying to get acclimated to the offense. I actually think, and out of all games, the under might be a sneaky way to look for that one. But I like Jacksonville State. I like them to cover those 2 points. Looking at that UCF game that Wayne Scott was speaking about, I actually think in that one, man, the under is going to be a way to go, man. You got 2 new acclimated quarterbacks, and they don't know what's going on out there. So I actually think in that one, I would be leaning to the under in that game. The Minnesota and North Carolina game, to me, the price tag is kind of like the price is right on either side, and you usually want the points in that one. So I'm staying off of them. But out of the 2 that I really like, it's just going to be that Jacksonville State, and I'm going to be looking at the under in that UCF game.
There from Mills. Yeah, I know how I look at it here. I'm going to go over in this one here, North Dakota State and Colorado. Shedeur Sanders back with his receiving core. And I know one thing. I know they're going to try to get the Heisman for Shedeur this season. And no better way to try to run it up here against an FCS school. I know North Dakota State's a good FCS team. They did get hit in the transfer portal, but I do believe that we will see a lot of passing here and a lot of stat padding for Shedeur. They want to get that Heisman for him. We all know that. And it's on ESPN, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. So I'll look at the over in that game. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. All right, now we're going to cover the remainder of the games. We're going to get into these FBS games now, as we're going to have Missouri State and Missouri here, Southeast Louisiana and Tulane in this slot, Alcorn and State and UAB. Here's one of the FBS matchups, North Carolina and Minnesota, Coastal Carolina, Jacksonville State, Lindenwood and Kansas. Boy, look at that, 49.5 points there. Northwestern State, Tulsa, and then Southern Utah and the Big 12 favorite, Utah here. They don't put a line up there for some reason. Eastern Illinois. And then we finish off the night with here, let me back it up a little bit. We finish off the night here with Sacktown State and San Jose State. All right, so we'll start it off here. Wayne is still frozen, so we'll start off with Alex.
Yeah, I'm going to pass from this time slot again. Once again, I'm with Al. I don't do a lot of action here early in the season with FCS teams, and I can't. And truthfully, I'm always looking for important line moves, and you can see the market's kind of slow right now. So I'm going to wait it out.
Wait up there. So Rutgers got on the board now, 7-0 right now with the extra point. Yep, 7-0 Rutgers on Howard. We now move on over to Jay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Some meat on the bone here. Missouri is laying 50 points. Oh, my God. They kicked the crap out of Murray State last season, though, and I think they're better this year. Luther Burden is seriously on Heisman watch. This Missouri team is probably one of the best Missouri teams you're going to see in your recent memory. I think they're that good. So I wouldn't be surprised today if they were up 40 at half and then proceeded to coast in the second half. So I know Dawgz have covered thus far, and people might be a little leery to lay such a huge number like 50. But I think Missouri is primed to be just as good as advertised. They're ranked 10th in the nation to start the season for good reason, so I would lean in that direction. Let me see, what else? There's some more meat on this bone out here. Let's go with I would honestly, I know this was in our last slot, but I would probably at this point in time now grab the 3 and a hook with Coastal Carolina. I feel like that's a legitimate 50-50 game. And I know the hype for Jacksonville State is real. but I think it's relative to who they've been playing 9 times out of 10. Like, I think in a vacuum, these two teams are dead even. When you put these two teams on a neutral field, this line would be even, in my opinion. So getting over a field goal now at this point in the time of the day, that's most definitely where I'd want to be. And then for my plus money group guys out there, I think Coastal is really live tonight, to be honest. So I would look at attacking them straight up on the money.
There from Jay. All right, we move on over to Shane.
Yeah, I really like this Gophers team. I mean, the big reason that line moved was because Darius Taylor is dealing with a hamstring injury to the star running back. Obviously, that's concerning, but this is PJ Fleck wants 37 good running backs on his team. That's how he's always been. You know, their Jordan Newman came in last year and replaced Taylor when he got hurt. He's the 4th string this year, and he played well last year. So there's 3 running backs behind Darius Taylor who can all play well. The weather is a concern. Obviously, the game got pushed back an hour. It's going to be a wet field. It might not be raining, but it's going to be wet. That helps the run game. This North Carolina defense gave up 158 yards per game on the ground last year. And it didn't get any better this offseason. The Gophers are going to run wild on them. I'm going to take the lead. And then I'm going to lay as a lean. It's not. I don't love it as much, but if you want action in that Kansas game, I like Kansas. A week ago, I wouldn't have said the same thing, but the coaching staff made it clear they're not holding anything back tonight. No, they're not holding back any plays. They're just going to try to run up the score. So I think even at that big number, I think this is a game they can win by 50. But yeah, the game I really like is the Gophers.
There from Shane there with his Gophers here. Let's see. Hang on. We get back to Jay here. You have something to say, Jay? Oh, you're on mute there, Jay. You're on mute.
Oh, sorry. One thing I was going to say, what Shane was hinting at, teams like Missouri, teams like Kansas, in an expanded playoff this season, they kind of have motivation to come out here and look good early. You know what I mean? Just in case there's any discussion later on. These are the style teams that the playoff bracket helps. So in years past, I wouldn't be surprised if teams kind of let off second half. I don't know if we don't necessarily see that today either. So I'm kind of with you there, Shane.
There you go from Shane and Jay coming in, chiming in as well. We move over here to Big Al.
Well, I'm going to join Alex in the Tar Heels and Golden Gophers game. Yeah, I mean, when you take a look at how single-digit home underdogs have done in their home openers, they're 116 and 79 ATS, so 61%. 119 and 76, 61%. And that's one reason why I like it. And then the other reason is they're playing with revenge. They lost in Chapel Hill last season, 31-13. And that 119 and 76 stat zooms to 49 and 28 ATS if our single-digit home underdog is also playing with revenge in their home opener. So we're going to take the 2 points with the Gophers.
There we go with Big Al McMorty. Now we move on over to Mills.
Yeah, so in this time slot, I mean, 2 things that I spoke on earlier, the Jacksonville State game. One thing I actually do like in that one, I like the team total over for that team as well. The quarterback's a mobile quarterback as well. 7 rushing touchdowns last year on the season. And, Coastal Carolina, they can give up a lot of points out there as well. Speaking on that North Carolina game, I got to go with the under, like we were speaking about earlier. Two quarterbacks out there, not really going to be, I don't think the offense is going to give them all the reins in the first game. So I definitely like the under in that game as well.
All right, there we go. There from Mills. All right, let me tell you what I think about these games here. I'm with everybody here with the Minnesota Golden Gophers in that spot. North Carolina defense for me is a concern. They're also replacing the 3rd round pick at quarterback. Of course, they went into the portal and picked up a quarterback with Max Johnson from Texas A&M. We kind of had a little bit of struggles there. He didn't keep his job there at Auburn. And then we've got, of course, the run game here. The quarterback transfer from New Hampshire looks good there. 15 starters back out experience. Golden Gophers team, I like them there. Even though it got off to 3 to 3.5, I still like Jackson State on the strength of their running game. facing a Coastal Carolina that was very weak against the run last year. We'll see if that continues. But Coastal Carolina doesn't seem to be the top, one of those top mid-major teams that we've seen in the past. So I'll look over to Jacksonville State there in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. Now it's time to turn our attentions over to Major League Baseball for the remainder of the games on the card. So we'll get going here with this, and we did get that athletics game underway. So we'll take a look at this time slot here with baseball. We got Braves, Phillies, Blue Jays, Red Sox, Royals, and Astros. We start, this looks like Wayne's still frozen. We'll start the segment here with Alex.
Yeah, like tonight's one of those nights I'm just passing a lot of stuff. I know I'm here. I'm here just to maybe listen to everybody else, because I'm telling you, a lot of these games just don't come across to me as something I want to recommend to anybody right now. I do have one game a little bit later, and we'll get into that in the next time slot.
All right, no problem. Worries there. It's a thin card. We'll move on over here to Jay.
We did all of baseball, correct?
Yeah, we do have baseball. Yep.
Okay.
Not on this segment, though. We're doing 3, and then we'll close it out with the final 2.
Oh, I'm sorry. So what were the 3? We did
The
Braves,
Phillies, Blue Jays, and then the Royals, Astros.
All right, cool. Braves been hot, man. They've been hot. But I think the line is telling me everything I need to know in this game. As hot as the Braves are, I think this is a Phillies win. Do I want to lay a run line? Am I rushing to bet this game? No, not necessarily. But just here to tell y'all who I think wins the game, I think the Phillies win the game. So I love fading some old man Morton, as I always say. So I would lean on Christopher Sanchez and the Phillies. The Red Sox, minus 135. This line has started to come down throughout the day. It missed my premium area because it was hanging around minus 150, minus 145 earlier. At this price, it's probably worth a play. Again, we're at the second half of baseball season, so a lot of the value is kind of gone. I think this is a Red Sox win. The Blue Jays, they had their stretch. I believe it's over. I've been playing good baseball. For majority of the season, the Blue Jays have been a terrible bet. So I do believe the Red Sox are the better team at home at the crib. I would lean in their direction. And another thing I'm known as is an Astros hater. So I'm not going to stop being that either. I'm going to take the Royals today. I haven't been the biggest fan of the Royals this season either. I was kind of expecting some regression from them. They're in a really tough spot of their schedule, probably the toughest stretch of their entire season. But they've played well through it. The Astros, I was kind of surprised to see Spencer Arrighetti damn near throw a no-hitter yesterday. Where'd that come from? And then B, Yordan Alvarez. I mean, I wasn't surprised for Part B, but Astros bats broke out yesterday. Hunter Brown has been much, much better second half of the season, but the Royals, man, they have the better record. Argument could be had that they're the better team, and this is too much plus money for me to not attack. So I would lean in the direction, seriously, of NCAAV.
There from Jay, we move over to Shane.
Yeah, I really like the Royals here, too. When I started handicapping these games yesterday, I loved the Royals. And then they blew that lead against Cleveland, and it made me a little concerned that there's going to be a little hangover effect. I mean, they had a chance to be in first place in the division. Now they're back in second place. So I'm a little concerned about that, but yeah. I know Hunter Brown's been better, but Brady Singer's not been bad himself, a little bit more inconsistent as of late, but I can't pass up that plus money with how well the Royals have played the last few weeks.
There we go from Shane. We move over to Big Al.
I'm going to look at the Boston-Toronto game. Cutter Crawford's going to get the start for the Bo Sox. He's 5-14 with a 5.06 ERA in his career at home. And also, the month of August is historically his worst month. He's 4-8 in August with a 6.56 ERA in 17 starts. This August, no different than what he did in his career. This August, similar results. He's 2-3 with a 7.30 ERA. In contrast, Bowden Francis, 3-1 this month with a 1.32 ERA. So I'll take Toronto plus the $1.15.
There from Big Al, we move on over to Mills.
Yeah, actually, one of these players is on the prop shop, man. So I'll go ahead and start with that. I like Hunter Brown to go over 5.5 strikeouts. He's one of the better strikeout pitchers ever since he's been in the MLB. This is the one thing you can count on. You can count on him to get them strikeouts, but you always count on him to get that win. And I actually was on the Royals as well. So it's just Three Amigos sign us all up on it. Like I said, Hunter Brown has that thing. He can give up 4 runs, and at that same time, he can give you 5 Ks within 3 innings and still lose the game. So, yeah, I actually think the plus money with the Royals is the way to go. And then in that Phillies and Braves game, I mean, both these teams is pretty much hot, 4-1 in the last 5. When you see the pitchers out there, you got Charlie Morton out there. You really can't trust him out there. But when I see the way that the Phillies have been playing as of late compared to how the Braves been able to win games, I actually think the Braves are live in here, man. I actually would take that plus 1.5 with them, in that one. And I think runs are going to come in that game as well. Those are the 2 games that I really looked at in that spot.
All right, from Mills, and I'll tell you what I think about these games here in this time slot. I'll look here at the Braves at the plus price. Warden over is 4 of his past 5 starts allowed 2 earned runs or fewer, so he's showing a little bit of improvement. Sanchez past 5 starts, ERA over 5. Braves have won 9 of 11. Their bullpen has been very consistent here throughout the season, and they're batting .263 over that period, so we'll be looking at Atlanta there. Toronto and Red Sox. I'm going to take Toronto here at that plus price. We know the Francis has shown obviously some improvement of late here, and again, I just don't have trust in this Red Sox bullpen. Toronto, the better hitting form over the period of 10 games. Toronto is a spot. Also take the plus price here with KC. They've won 10 of 14, past 10 games hitting .280, and I'll look at the Royals here in that spot. All right, we'll continue here on the drive-through. As it looks like we had a standalone game. I should have went 2-2 in that segment, but that's how it goes. So, the single game we got here for you is a nightcap, Orioles and Dodgers, and we'll start off here with Alex. Alex, if he has anything on this one.
Yeah, I just don't like Kate. I'm not a big guy with Kate Pavich. Pavich, to me, they look at him, but in his rookie season as being something special here for Baltimore, and I really can't see it. I mean, the kid's he's been struggling. He's got an 11.2% walk rate. The Dodgers are the kind of team that takes a guy like this and they just rip him apart. And that's what I think is going to happen tonight. Pavich is off allowing 2 home runs, and his barrel rate is unbelievably horrible, looking at 10.5%. So, we're looking at an explosive Dodgers team against a kid that's just not ready, to be facing this kind of offense. I really think he gets lit up here tonight. I know Bobby Miller hasn't been much better, but you know what? He seems to be coming around. He's off a good performance. You know what? I'm starting to like this game as the day goes on. This is actually worth a premium play for me at this point. And let's go. Let's go with LA just to kick the living daylights out of the Orioles tonight.
Yeah, I see almost a 20-cent move from the opener of 160. I see a 39 at Bet Online, so that line is coming down here. All right, we move over to Jay.
I think Alex hit the nail right on the head. I really have nothing much to add. I'm on the Dodgers in this one as well. To be honest, I'm hating on everybody in the American League. I don't know who I believe in the American League to go out and pull this thing out. I'm not big on the Astros. I'm not big on the Guardians. I'm not big on the O's. I'm not big on the Yankees. Somebody got to do it, but I don't know who's going to be the one to do it. So I'm Team National League. I think the team I'm riding right now is the Diamondbacks, and then I think they're going to be facing these Los Angeles Dodgers in that National League Championship. So can't fade the Dodgers right now. I'll keep it rolling with them as I think they beat up on the O's tonight.
All right, Jay here on the Dodgers. Move on over to Shane.
Yeah, I honestly don't love this game, but there's just no way I'm laying any. I wouldn't even lay minus 110 tonight with Bobby Miller. Each of his last 7 games, he's given up 1 home run. Each of the last 3 games, he's given up at least 2. I understand Kate Povich has been bad, but I think with a person who's giving up home run balls like Bobby Miller is, I got to take the plus money, especially when it's like plus 124. I think I saw. I'll take that.
They're from Shane. All right, we move on over to Big L.
Well, it's interesting when you look at, Povich's starts down at AAA Norfolk. He was 6-1 with a 3.48 ERA and a 1.11 WHIP. So he's 6-1 at AAA. Now he's 1-6 in the bigs. Exact opposite with a 6.10 ERA and a 1.62 WHIP. He's a really good prospect, but they had to rush him. They had injuries on their, with their starters. So they had to bring him up earlier than they would have wanted. And he's just not ready for prime time. He's certainly talented, but I got a seat at this level before I want to, put money on him. So it's for me, it would be, the Dodgers or nothing.
From Big Al, move on over to Mills.
Cade Povich is straight garbage. I mean, come on now. What are we talking about? He's 1-4 in his last 5 starts. Now listen to me. The one win, he gave up 5 earned runs, and they won by 7-5. Like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? Every single game he gave up 2 or 3 more runs. Bobby Miller, 11-4 from last year. Y'all remember that kid? I do. We know Walker Buehler ain't coming back. Maybe Bobby Miller could come back. Give me the Dodgers in this one. And I like Ohtani to go over 1.5 total bases as well.
There we go. Extra bases there from Mills here. How I look at this one, I'm going to be looking at the Dodgers in this spot. One thing I said last time when Miller pitched, at home, his home numbers, if you look at his home road splits at home, ERA 2.65, whip of 1. So that's what I'm going to bank on here with Bobby Miller here tonight. Will be what I like in this one. All right, we'll continue here on the drive-through. We got through the games for you. Now it's time we'll find out the cappers have going on over at Pick Dawgz Premium. So we'll go ahead and ask Shane. Shane, what are you going on over there? We got baseball, college football up on the board. What do you got going over at the site?
Yeah, I've just got a 3-pack left. 3 college football plays for tonight, $39.99. I also have an MLB play, but that is not in the package. It's in the long term. So if you want that, make sure to hop on long term. We got college football all weekend. NFL's next week, so there's no better time to hop on that long term pass and we can make some money together.
That's right. Get on board with Shane Wick over at Pick Dawgz Premium, and we'll take a look at what we got going on with Jay. Jay, what's happening over at the site? You're on mute, Jake.
Sorry about that. I have a college football 3-pack going on today over at Pick Dawgz Premium. 3 plays I'm loving on this Thursday night. Start the year off with a bang. We smacked our college football play of the day in week 0. So we're 1-0 this season, and we're just trying to keep the momentum rolling forward. You can hop on my best bet, $30 over at Pick Dawgz Premium, or you can get that 3-pack, 3 for the price of 2. For $60 over at Pick Dawgz Premium, as we can and get ready to ramp up for college football for the remainder of the weekend and NFL right on the horizon.
Here from Jay, and we'll take a look at Big Al. Big Al, what's happening over at Pick Dawgz Premium?
Got 1 baseball play on the docket today. I've got 2 football plays posted for Saturday, including my college football game of the month. So that's what I got right now.
Yeah, more Big Al McMurray. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. We'll save you that 15%. And Alex, great year going on over at Pick Dawgz. What do you have going over at the site?
Yeah, tonight we have a Major League Best Bet of the day. It's a total. That's going to start very soon, actually. And we have a college football side smash with North Dakota State at Colorado. Is North Dakota State going to be able to cover this game, or is Colorado just going to blow them out of the water? I think everybody's been on prime time a lot in the offseason and saying this is the year for him. Is it the year? Well, I have an opinion on that tonight.
Get on board with Alex. Great year going on. I have a best bet on the board right now for Major League Baseball, so get on board with me. Remember the long-term pass is your best value. Now with all the football, right? 30-day pass, get 3-4 weeks of college football, NFL as well. Use promo code PICK at checkout, and you'll save that 15% off. Right now we reached our parlay peripheral segment where the cappers can give out a parlay or peripheral play. It could be a week 1 college football, week 1 NFL, player prop. They make the call. We'll start it off here with Alex.
Yeah, I'm going to give up some pitchers props tonight. I'm going to go with Bowden Francis and the Blue Jays under 16.5 outs. I'm going to go with Charlie Morton Braves under 17.5 outs. And let's go with let's just leave it at that. We'll just go with those 2.
Those 2 here from Big Al going over to Jay.
I have 3 plays for y'all. One is a play coming up in college football this week. I would take Boston College plus 16.5 versus Florida State. Something you're going to hear a lot this week and this coming up week is teams already have a game underneath their belt. They perform really well. No, they don't. It's like 50-50. When you look at the numbers, it's like 50-50. So the fact that Florida State has already played a game ATS-wise means nothing. I think they're probably, and I'm going to continue to harp on it, I think they're one of the more overrated teams in all of football. I just believe that. So I don't believe in their quarterback, and I think that their game plan against Georgia Tech told you everything you need to know. His air yards in that first half tells you everything you need to know. So I would not be looking at laying that many points with Florida State in this game on Monday. Heisman odds, 2 Heisman odds. Avery Johnson, Kansas State.
Let's go. Let's go.
Avery Johnson,
I'm
KV
telling
State.
them that. Let's go.
Avery Johnson, Kansas State. I'm just saying, keep your eyes up. Keep your eyes up. Avery Johnson, Kansas State. And then the other one, I think he's probably the best player in the country. It's going to be hard for him to win it, but he plays 2 ways, Travis Hunter. And his odds are really, really great. His odds are really, really great. So just two odds on Heisman I would look at, Avery Johnson and Travis Hunter.
They're from Jay, and we move on over to Shane.
Yeah, make sure you watch the injury report for this one. He has not been confirmed in or out. Make sure that he's going to be playing. But as long as Darius Taylor plays, I think he has a big game. I already hit on earlier what North Carolina defense against the running game last year. You can get 90-plus yards for Darius Taylor at plus 210, and you can get 120-plus yards at plus 600, plus 650. I'm doing a half unit on 90-plus and then another quarter unit on 120-plus. For value, and then a little parlay, underdog parlay. I like Lafayette money line and then Minnesota money line. Parlay those together.
Yeah, from Shane, we move on over to Big Al.
So as far as teams that are playing their first game versus teams that have already played at least one game, it's not a 50-50 thing. The teams that actually have yet to play do better than the teams that already have a game under their belt. The record, this is just FBS versus FBS. It doesn't include FCS games. But in FBS versus FBS matchups, it's 243 and 209 and 6 ATS going back to 1980. The team that has yet to play does better, for what it's worth. My parlay will be, I guess, Bowdoin France, or the Blue Jays with the Golden Gophers.
They're from Big Al. We move on over to Mills.
Yeah, talking about the futures, man. All right, let's go ahead. Avery Johnson, man. We got him already. Plus 2,300 to win the Heisman. Bet that. I got Kansas State over 9 wins. Bet that already. To win their conference, okay, it's plus 300. We might have a little pushback with Utah. We might. But it's whatever. But I like both of those, okay? But for today, I got something to get you on top. It's crazy. He spoke on Travis Hunter. He's in the prop shop. Take him to go over 73 yards. Take him to get an anytime touchdown as well. I think that's going to be the way that the offense goes. That time that he taken off last year from those games, that really set the whole team back. You know what I mean? It wasn't just the offense. It wasn't just the defense. To me, it was the whole team. So I think they're going to really try to get this guy the ball. I can even see him coming out there Tyreek Hill style as well. So go ahead and take him to get over 73 yards today and take him to get an anytime touchdown. And, hey, you can't go away. Just bet on K-State.
There we go from Mills. That's right. There you go. All right, the ones I like here.
I'm biased, though.
The one I like, the free pick I like the most would be Minnesota, and I would parlay that with the over in North Dakota State and Colorado. All right, we got you through the parlay segment. Let's find out what the Cappers have going over at with their video series. Now that we're getting all these sports overlapping, college football in play here, we got NFL not too far away. I know some of the Cappers have an all-access plan up there as well. So let's find out here from the Cappers what they've got going on. Let me get the screen set up here. Switch screens. Okay, so we're going to find out from JJ. What do you got going on over at with the video series over the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel?
Football is here, man. So a lot going on here at Pick Dawgz, of course. Let me just update y'all on what's going on. Y'all know I've hosted the weekend shows Saturday and Sunday through the summer. Now, with football being back, Mitch is going to slide into the hosting chair on Saturdays and take care of college football. I'll probably still be there 9 times out of 10 most Saturdays. He's just going to slide in the host chair. And then Sundays, I'll still be hosting the NFL show as we talk NFL and whatever else is on the card on Sunday. So that's what's going on there. We have a new format for this NFL show coming out. in a couple weeks. I'm super or this coming week. So I'm super excited for you guys to see that. The main feature is still me, Mitch, and Big Al, but I think you guys are really gonna love the extraness we add to this show, man. So be on the lookout for that coming up on the horizon. Yeah, man, just plenty of great content coming from us here at Pick Dawgz as we just continue to try to be number one, putting people on the best places to make some money in sports.
From Jay Briggs. Big Al, I know you've got an all access plan. We're heading into football. Let them know what you got going over at the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel.
Sure. Yeah, the all access, it's not for everyone. You have to be a big high roller to qualify. But if you bet between $1,000 and $10,000 a game and you'd like to join, just text the words Big Al to 702-769-0404. One of the benefits of the All Access Club is that you get all of the games, but you get them rated from 10 stars down through 1 star, so you know which ones are the strongest. You also get additional plays that don't go to the regular clients. And then the final benefit is you can ask me about any game on the card 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Believe it or not, I'm up. You can call me, text me, email me. It could be 10 at night. Just, if there's a game you're interested in, I'll let you know what I think. But if you're interested, you have to be a high roller, and you can text Big Al to 702-769-0404.
There you go. Make that caller text. We're going over to Mills. Mills, we find you with the prop shop. I know UFC is dark, as so is Bellator, but next week we're back in full swing.
Yeah, man, we're right back at it, man. They gave us a week off, man. They gave us no UFC. They gave us no Bellator. They gave us no PFL because last week they gave us all 3 pretty much all in one. I was just trying to make some bets real quick before these, 4 p.m. games start. But, I'll talk to you guys what we got going. Bellator is coming out here to San Diego, so I'm going to be covering all the fights, talking to the fighters, doing the media for them on Wednesday. Then I'm going to be covering their event live for them, talking to them after the fights and before the fights and stuff like that, too, on Saturday. So if you guys want to see some good fights, definitely, if you guys are in that San Diego area, come on out. It's going to be going down September 7th. Besides that, I'm definitely going to have, some prediction videos for that. You got UFC dropping as well. So I didn't give you guys no UFC video breakdown this week, but last week we did smash the books out there. And then the prop shop videos, those are dropping daily out there. So I just acclimated the college prop shops to them too. I'm getting those stats off of ESPN Bet and Prize Picks. Some people might ask, where can you bet on WNBA player props and college player props? A lot of people don't know. I've been betting player props for the last 3-4 years. So, yeah, man, there's apps out there and there's money to get. So, it's not always about a team. It's about trying to give you something to give you some green.
Prop shop, check it out on the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel. Hey, I don't want to neglect the riders, right? We got a rider on this group today. It's Shane. Shane, let him know what's going on, what you got going on over at Pick Dawgz Sports Chat.
Yeah, we're starting busy season. I don't have to name off all the sports, but the one thing I want to highlight is, if you're looking for DraftKings, FanDuel, daily fantasy lineups, you find them a lot for NFL. I'm really trying to cover college football this year. A lot of, it seems to be one thing that's neglected. Obviously, all states can't do it, and also injury plays a big part in it. But if you're looking for DFS college football, make sure to check out Sports Chat Place. We're covering every slate on there.
There you go, guys. Lots of coverage, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications so you get these videos right away. All right, that's going to do it for this drive-through. Before we go, any closing comments from anybody?
Hashtag coming.
There we go. There we go. We got it. All right. That'll do it for now. Going to wake up. Bye, guys. You guys make it a winning night.